Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Play Action Podcast. I am Will, and I got Colton here with me. Colton, how you doing?
I'm right, man. How are you?
It'd be better if, my Terrapins won last week, but, sad boy hours right now.
Sad boy hours.
Iowa is very legit.
Yeah, Iowa's a good team. They're ranked as high as they are for a reason.
Oh, they're third. They're playing number 4 Penn State. Oh, that's a good college football matchup.
That's right.
Big show, Urban Meyer, Stephon Gilmore, Jaylon Smith, power rankings, overreacting, and also our predictions to week 5. This is a jam-packed show, ladies and gentlemen. Colton, what are we again?
What are we again?
You're supposed to say Play Action Podcast, and I hit the intro.
Give me a run back.
Okay, do it again. Colton, what are we?
This is the Play Action Podcast, baby.
This is the Play Action Podcast featuring Will.
It's not every time. It's not every time.
Every time.
Featuring Colton.
The guy, if you go back into our division thing, this guy had the Jets.
I picked the Jets to win.
For no what reason?
Yeah.
Featuring a whole lot of arguing.
Playoffs, we're gonna win the division.
Listen. You need to
to
realize my thinking process here because the Bills.
There is no thinking process.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
And I told people the Steelers were going to be decent. I didn't have the Steelers like, oh, they're godly. No, I was realistic. You were very unrealistic with the Jets.
Colton,
and guess who was right and guess who was wrong, Will? You were dead wrong about the Jets. I was dead right about Goat Allen and the Bills. And I was right about the Steelers. Come on now.
They're pretty high on our power rankings this week.
They are indeed.
I lost my pen. There it is. But I had a big meeting before. But this is the Play Action Podcast. I am Will. We got Colton here. This is a big show. We got a lot of big news going around. I mean, trade deadlines coming up at the end of the month, beginning of November. But let's talk about the latest here with Mr. Urban Meyer, who had a very bad loss against the Bengals last week. Decided to stay in Ohio with friends and family. Decides to go out clubbing, and a lot of videos surfaced Saturday night, and it just made a very, very bad weekend for Jaguars fans and, Jaguars fans, Jaguars players. Just a whole lot of nothing right going on with the Jaguars at this moment. He already came out and says, I did not think of resigning yet as coach. I am going to get through this. We're going to make sure that this gets better. Blah, blah, blah. Hear this story every time. What are your thoughts on this, Colton, as this is just a disaster for Trevor Lawrence and company?
See, it's a bad team for a reason. He's got no idea how to be a professional head coach. He's used to partying and clearly doing all this stuff at Ohio State. Has his little restaurant, all this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's a different way of handling business in the NFL. You want to go to the bar, take a player to the bar, whatever you got to do, recruiting wise. I mean, I certainly wouldn't take a player to the bar, but that's kind of getting strippers for basketball players. I mean, college is a different story. College is a different breed for a million reasons. Yeah, this isn't a good look for a team that is winless. Like, if they had a win or something, they were 4-0, you want to lay loose, you're winless. Go back with the team. He does. This is why, we shouldn't be giving this a time of day. I already know you have something waiting in the background to pull up here, so you might as well cue it.
I'll pull it up now. Oh, I got to get rid of the tag here. Criteria to examine this for struggling teams, according to Urban Meyer, and the Jaguars qualify for all three of them: trust issues, dysfunctional environment, and also selfishness. Apparently, all these players laughed at him. They laughed at his face and said, they just laughed at him. They're just not taking him seriously. He already lost the locker room. But, this stems all the way back in December, November, when all these players are coming out saying how Trevor Lawrence shouldn't go to New York, all this stuff. And now, he's kind of just in this, I don't even know what's happening in Jacksonville, just a disaster field, to say the least.
Yeah, this isn't a good look at all. Urban's probably like, please don't show this, and here it is. So, seriously, he's not getting the locker room back this year. We'll see what happens at the end of the season, how they do. If they end up winless, you got to fire him. Seriously. It's like, oh, my gosh, and the dysfunction stays. No, if they don't win a game, like he's not gonna regain the locker room. If they get on like a little run, not they're gonna say they're gonna freaking win like 4 straight games or whatever. They win 2 in a row or something. I don't know what their schedule looks like. I don't really care. It's Jacksonville. They're irrelevant. But if they win a few games, 3 or 4 games, Lawrence looks good, then you can keep him. But my goodness, if they go winless this season, seriously, he's got to go. Like, it's not even like someone's going to easily gladly take the job because of Trevor Lawrence. It's not like, dude, I want to pick my quarterback. You have a guy that's been, I mean, geez, they talk about Trevor Lawrence as the next Andrew Luck.
Peyton Manning, just like
the next greatest thing coming out of college. So, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard trying to get a coach to come in and take Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, it's the Jags. I really don't know what to say. They're bad and they're not good for a reason. This is kind of why they are what they are. So they shouldn't have hired an Urban Meyer, a guy that's older. He's kind of always had his little situations at schools. You ever think he was going to grow up for the NFL? No, it was a mistake. This is why the Jags are bad. I mean, seriously, this is kind of why they are. This is why they were their last pick. I know the Jets were sitting there trying to give it away, and they certainly did. But my goodness, yeah, what a disaster. And hopefully they figure it out in Jacksonville because they had a lot of young talent. They traded Henderson away for a bag of chips.
I say a quality roast beef sandwich, a 3rd-round pick, but a 9th overall, like,
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was a bag of chips, and it wasn't a good one because now Carolina's sitting there beasting, which leads into our next. This is your job. I'm taking away here. Leads into our next.
I'll let you segue into these. These are fun. You know what you're doing.
And leads into our next one. Stephon Gilmore traded to Carolina. I mean, geez Louise. J.C. Horn. I know he's hurt. J.C. Horn. They trade for Henderson. Now you got probably one of the best in the game, Stephon Gilmore, is coming back probably in the next few weeks for Carolina.
He's able to come back week 6 or week 7. I think it's week 7 because he's on IR to start the year. So week 7 is when he could return. And also, A.J. Boye could return at week 6, and that's a guy that everyone forgot in Carolina.
Yeah,
Jackson's he's killing it in the secondary.
This is an interesting
defense is good.
This is an interesting team. This is kind of what the Buccaneers need to be like the best team in football, and the problem is it's in their division. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many teams went knocking on the door for Gilmore, and I think, again, was one of those things. Belichick, go to the NFC. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to get burned by you this year.
I know they still have to play the Panthers this year, so.
Oh, he's going to get burned. That's unfortunate, but you would think he would try to trade him to another team that's kind of like scratching and clawing. Carolina with this move and getting their players back like they are in the secondary. Yeah, and McCaffrey's trying to practice today. I don't know how well that went for Carolina today. I know he
very limited basis.
Very limited. Yeah,
he's going.
He should be out this week if we're going to play it smart here, Carolina.
Let
McCaffrey sit this week. Let Chuba give it another go. But yeah, this team's all in on this defense. Seriously, I know they played Dallas, a really good offense. Secondary wasn't as loaded. If you're going to play a healthy secondary in with all these guys and Gilmore included, that might be a different game. This is a really, really good defense. It's kind of been what the talk is. As good as Carolina's been, it's been a lot of talk on the defense. Sam Darnold clearly has been head and shoulders above what I was expecting this year from him. What are your thoughts? I mean, geez, it's a really good move. I was talking today with Steeler Nation. I'm like, dude, 2 young studs in J.C. Horn and Henderson get to learn from A.J. Boye, who I forgot, and Stephon Gilmore, who's one of the best in football. Like, that's terrifying. What are your thoughts, Will?
Oh, my God. Imagine if this defense had Kuechly still. This could be the best defense in football. On paper, I would say it's the best defense on football. Look, they still have Jeremy Chin, who's a big stud. They bring in Hassan Reddick from Arizona, who had that monster 5-sack game against the Giants last year. You still got a very good secondary. You're so much depth at the defensive front. What's stopping this team from even winning the division? I think Tampa Bay might have a run for its money. If, they lost a very close game to Dallas last week, but they did come back and score 2 late touchdowns with DJ Moore at the end. If they stop that weird triple option at the end of the game, Carolina could maybe be in the conversation of a 4-0 team. Just let that sink in. And Darnold's killing it. He has the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback within first 4 weeks of the season. You would think Lamar, Cam Newton, Michael Vick would have that record. No, Sam Darnold has it. And that was not on my bingo card for him to have the most rushing touchdowns to have the first month of the season in.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's been a lot better than I was expecting, and he loves DJ Moore, which is, again, quite the opposite of what I was fantasy drafting and Robbie Anderson. It's like they had that connection. He's like, I don't want to remember my Jets time at all, and is like all in on the Carolina Panther #1 receiver and DJ Moore. So there's that. But yeah, it's I'm kind of excited when they play the Bucs. We'll see how good they are, because that's clearly the testing point with this team. They lose to Dallas. We'll see what happens when they get a healthy defense. I want to see that. It's like great. I don't want to take anything away from Dallas, because Dallas is a legit team. Well, you'll see when we get to the power rankings here. I have them very high. I'm actually really high on Dallas. My goodness, though. We'll see what happens when this team gets healthy. Like, seriously, I want to see what happens in the secondary. They have a bunch of toys to mess with in that secondary. So we'll see. See what happens when they play a good team like the Bucs. Leading into our next fella, man, who got cut.
Jaylon.
Speaking of Dallas, yeah, this is interesting, huh?
I mean, I was expecting this in the offseason that he was going to get cut. But again, the cap penalties, just how bad the cap is this year. I'm surprised he didn't just make it through the entire year. As good as the Dallas defense has been, it's kind of like a big shakeup, especially in their linebacking core, where you Jeff Parsons 10th overall. He's not even playing linebacker. He's playing defensive end. He's even better than what he was at a linebacker.
Yeah, Van Der Esch back there. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, Van Der Esch, who they're not resigning after this year. I mean, maybe with this cut, you go and maybe go after, try to get Van Der Esch on like a lengthy deal. But you bring in both former Falcon safeties, Keanu Neal and Kazi, and they're both playing like linebacker safety, weird Jamal Adams type stuff. This comes at a surprise, but it doesn't make me as surprised, because I know he played very bad last year. He let up like a ridiculous amount of yards. He was like the #1 defender in like yards let up. And I mean, linebackers always cover the middle of the field, so that's obviously going to be a thing. But he was like miles ahead of the next person. And I mean, he played what? He had that catastrophic knee injury in college. Somehow was drafted in the second round. He didn't play his rookie year. Then he came out, played really good ball his next 3 years, and then he's now back to the bottom of the pit for him.
Well, I talked to some people that are Dallas fans, and from what I've gotten and some highlights that I've watched of him, since he's been cut, it sounds like he got his money and like he was all cool with it. Like that's kind of it. Like he didn't want to get any better, and he's kind of been chilling. And he looks like his rookie year is like his first year playing, is what I've heard from a lot of people. He's not reading the whole right. He's getting wound up. He's getting in the wash. He's not making any plays. It's kind of like not what they were expecting from him in this season. I mean, their defense has been good. He's been very underperforming, especially when you got a rookie like Micah Parsons out here balling. So I think that's kind of what it is. They're going to re-sign Van Der Esch is kind of what I'm thinking, and Micah Parsons and him stay inside for the next freaking 7-8 years. I mean, clearly Micah Parsons is really Micah Parsons is kind of doing what I expected what's his name to do for the Cardinals. Isaiah Simmons. That's kind of what I was expecting here. And yeah, you could tell like he's been very, very productive. And we said this, it was kind of like a easy handoff here for Defensive Player of the Year. I picked JC Horn. Clearly he came out really good, got hurt, so that's not happening. I mean, even though my clear pick was Micah Parsons, as everyone with the brain cell here. Micah
You
Parsons
wanted to be different, and I know a lot of people like JC Horn.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is clear this head and shoulders like above, and he's really, really what's the word I'm looking for? He can do it all. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, and he's proving that. DeMarcus Lawrence goes out. Huge piece for Dallas' defense. Imagine when he gets back. Imagine rotating him, Micah Parsons. You could literally put Micah Parsons everywhere. Like, this is literally what I thought Isaiah Simmons was going to be last year. But Micah Parsons is clearly head and shoulders above.
Are the Cardinals even using Isaiah Simmons? I feel like I've done one of their games, and they're 4-0. I just feel like I haven't heard anything about Isaiah Simmons. I'm going to Google his stats right now because I feel like he's just not even there.
I'm already beating it to it. I'm already on it.
All right, Google. What are we thinking here? Let's see stats. Let's see. He's 23 years of age out of Clemson. Let's look at these stats.
He's leading the team in tackles.
8.
So there's that. There's that going for him.
2 pass defensive. Oh, he had an interception week 1.
And a forced fumble, 2 of them. So he's being used. He's being used. They have him at linebacker. I haven't watched games to like correctly say, yeah, that's what he's doing. So like I'm gonna have to pay attention to that because we have to pay attention to the Cardinals, folks. Like that's a thing.
They're scary.
But yeah, they're a good football team. But yeah, I mean, he was head and shoulders clearly the defensive player of the year this year for rookies. So we'll see.
Let's go into our power rankings. So this is our quarterly power rankings. I guess we're going to do these every 4 weeks, even though the season's 18 weeks. So it kind of messes up the mojo, how we want to get this stuff going. But there's stuff all over the place. I mean, I forgot where I have some of these teams. So we're going to be all surprised, though, where we end up landing these power rankings. So let me share my screen here. Obviously, at 32, we're going from 32 to number 1 because, well, you got to start with the worst and finish with the best. Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars, no surprise there. It's just terrible. I think they cut Josh Lambo, who's a Pro Bowl kicker as well. I think they ended up cutting him because he missed 2 kicks against the Cardinals. Like that was going to help him win the game. Let's see. Hold on. I got to click on a PowerPoint here. There we go. Number 31, we have the Detroit Lions. This was a coin flip. You had Detroit at 32. I had them at 31. So it was really a coin flip stuff here.
I had him at 32. No way. I had the Jags last. No way. Oh, wait. Maybe I did. No, I did. You're correct. You are actually correct because I totally
have
forgot.
your sheet written down here, and
I had them.
And you missed 2 teams, and I had to figure out where you wanted them and all that stuff. So,
no, you are right. See, like I already forgot my power rankings. I totally forgot. I said, the Jags played the Bengals tough. They're clearly like 31 in Detroit with a nice dumpster fire against Chicago. So. I see why. Now it's all starting to refresh. Now I'm in power ranking mode. It's kind of in everything else mode, Aaron Rodgers mode, and everything else Pittsburgh was. Will, keep me on track.
Pelvic fumble here at number 31. Number 30. Oh, well, I have to re-click that because I wanted to have this little banner up. So let's do this again. Here we go. Houston Texans, Davis Mills and company absolutely slacked last week against Buffalo. And, well, maybe Tyrod is the answer. Maybe he is going to be maybe he might have a home for the next couple of years because he played some really good football and he kept this team into some really good games early on.
Yeah, you can give me the next one. I'm not interested in wasting any time talking Texans because that's.
How can you put Patterson at RB2, number 29, the Atlanta Falcons? If you picked up Patterson in fantasy, I think you are a crazy madman if you ended up starting him.
I did. I'm very glad I did.
That's the entire offense. I mean, although they came up just short to a former Falcons running back, J.D. McKissick, with his Lambo leaping touchdown to close out that game. This is going to be the spot for the Atlanta Falcons. Number 28, the New York Jets. They got a good win last week. Big 7-sack game. First time since 2017 they accumulated that many. I don't know how you feel about that. You had them at 28. I had them at 27. This was another coin flip toss between them and Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. You get both of them this weekend, early football here in London, so we'll see what happens from these two teams. Yeah, and then I'll clearly settle that power ranking debate with those two teams, see what happens there. But yeah, good one for the Jets.
27, the Giants, they get a big win in the homecoming game in New Orleans with all the fans in the stands.
Yeah, Daniel Jones has played really well. He's up there in passer rating. He might not be the issue. Might be everything else with this team. So he's playing well. Yeah, hats off to him. Good job for Danny Dimes and the G-Man.
Yeah, 2 turnovers on the year, a fumble and an interception. The interception came in on a Hail Mary last week. So he's playing some of his best ball. 26, the Eagles. I mean, they got absolutely slacked against the Chiefs, but I don't think anyone else expected differently because, well, it's the Chiefs. They were obviously going to be putting up a lot of points, and the Eagles kind of kept suit with them the entire game, which is very surprising to me. Well, they got to get the running game involved a little bit more.
It's not surprising because Kansas City's defense is absolute garbage. But, yeah, Miles Sanders kind of irrelevant in this offense. It's Kenneth Gainwell. It's kind of been the guy. So, like, looking for, like, a weird like desperate flex play. Kenneth Gainwell's kind of been that guy. I think he's a running back out of Memphis this year for them, rookie. So, yeah, the Birds, they're an interesting team. I thought they were going to be better, and the defense isn't really that good. I thought they were going to be better. They're really not.
Number 25, your Steelers. Big Ben passes his 400th career touchdown pass. And, well, I mean, he did defeat one of the best corners in football. This is kind of a what are your thoughts on him? Because you wrote a couple articles this week. You know, do you think the Steelers are going to eventually bench Big Ben?
We'll see. I mean, trust me, in a perfect world, I don't want that because that means the season's a loss. It's not totally out of the question the season being over because it is an extra game, and the problem is the division's 3-1. So everyone in the division is 3-1. Steelers win this weekend, and some of them lose would be nice this weekend to spice it up again. Steelers have a really tough stretch. Got to win this weekend. We'll see what happens. They are favored by a point right now. I don't want to bench. Trust me, I've been getting in arguments with my father and another family friend that's a Steeler fan, and he's like, "You guys, you're talking out of your ass." I'm not. If he makes the 2 simple throws to Juju, they probably beat the Packers in Lambeau. So I picked them to win. I was wrong. They lost. Looked good early. They scored their first ever touchdown like on an opening drive in the past 11 games. So I was like, holy crap, this is different. And it wasn't different. I hope it sucks seeing the Hall of Famer go out this way. So I hope he figures it out. He said he was dropping the elbow today and missed some of those throws. I hope that's the case. I really do, because this team has the potential. They're starting to get some guys back at practice. I don't want to spend 20 years on the Steelers because no one cares because they're not relevant because they're 25. So, well, what do you got at 24?
The Miami Dolphins, who aren't even that much better because, well, at least the Steelers kind of have a somewhat of a quarterback. The Dolphins have just a question mark at quarterback. Tua returns next week when they play Jacksonville in London. There hasn't been a big boost anywhere on this team at all, which is very kind of sad. It's not really a surprise, but it's just, what's the point of drafting a quarterback in the top 5 if, you're going to probably end up trading him away eventually?
Yeah, this is what it comes down to in the offseason for me. It's really interesting with the Dolphins. Tua's been really bad. They finally surrounded with some weapons. The weapons get hurt, as in Will Fuller, again, gone. Shocker, dude's always hurt. It's usually his hamstrings. This time it's his hand or finger. Something's broken. I think it's his thumb.
Yeah, he broke a finger. He can't catch anything.
Yeah, he can't catch a cold. Surprise, surprise. Tua's been bad, dude, and maybe the talks are now real. I remember when I had Leon last year. Honestly, it feels like forever ago. He was like, "Yeah, they got their guy." Yeah, no, I don't think they have their guy, and the Dolphins are really paying the price for it because they actually have a solid defense. And the problem is their defense is like Pittsburgh; it's on the field 50 minutes of the game, and they're just getting torched at the rear end. Their line's not good, so. You trade a Minkah Fitzpatrick, you put that pick into Austin Jackson, whatever the heck his name is at a USC, the tackle. Yeah, the line is not good for the Dolphins. So having a guy that's not really that mobile in Tua causes major problems for the Dolphins. I think if he had time, if he was behind the Browns offensive line, I think he'd be scary. That's a team that I could see Tua fitting perfectly in is the Browns with a legit offensive line that play action. Oh my God, I think Tua can hurt you. Problem is this team is not built for Tua. So not a good look here for the Dolphins.
23, the Indianapolis Colts got their first win against the number 24 ranked Miami Dolphins last week. They kind of got everything going. I mean, what's his face? Jonathan Taylor ended up getting some good stuff going on the ground, and also Carson Wentz played, some better football on Sunday.
Yeah, the Colts are an interesting team. I think I had them lower in my power ranking just because their offensive line's an absolute shambles.
23.
I had them at 23 above the Steelers? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I had the Steelers low, so it kind of really messed up where the Steelers were placed. Because I wasn't so sold on the Steelers.
That's fine. That's all right. That's
I could have put the Jets at one. Really messed it up.
I think they're the best one-win team, and that's not really something to be proud of. But I think out of the teams that have one win, I think the Steelers are clearly the best. And if they just figure out Ben just to be somewhat competent, the Steelers are clearly way better than the rest of these teams. But I respect it, dude. We all got our opinions, but yeah, the Colts. Wentz has been. I thought this team was gonna be a lot better. That's why I had them so low in my power ranking. I just didn't think they were that good. They haven't been that good. They have a bazillion running backs. Still can't figure out to run the ball because their offensive line's all like hurt. So we'll see what happens if they get someone healthy. But until then, I mean, they're down in the dumps.
Number 22, Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, which surprisingly we both had a number 22. I mean, they've been in a lot of close football games. This team could easily be a 3-1 team if they beat the Dolphins. And also, Nick Folk nails a 56-yard field goal on Sunday night. Could have defeated Tom Brady and spoiled the homecoming. I think this is the best place you could put him at this very moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know with the Patriots. I don't know. I thought they were better. This is what I talked about. I did say this in the offseason. They spent a lot of money on no one. Like, Judon's clearly their best piece they've spent money on. The receivers are nothing good. You spent so much money on Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar. And guess what is still your number one receiver? It's Jacoby Myers. Like, I don't understand here what Bill Belichick was doing. He spent a lot of money on nothing when he could have traded for someone better. Like, seriously, he could have traded for a better receiver and not have spent that much money. Like, that's what's kind of crazy about this whole thing. But, yeah, Patriots, yeah, not as good as I was expecting.
Number 21, the Minnesota Vikings. This team could honestly be a 4-0 team if the refs, saw Adam Thielen getting absolutely bagged in the end zone to close out the game. Literally, I think it's the best description here. They're just literally fingertips away from being a 4-0 team, but due to kicking and just officiating, they sit at a 1-3 record.
Yeah, not really much to say about the Vikings, sir. It's another boring team. Kirk Cousins, the time I actually start him, does absolutely nothing. So thanks, Kirk.
I mean, only the top 5 defense that he has to play against.
We'll see what happens going forward. They're down here for a reason. Well,
number 20, the New Orleans Saints.
How high were you on the Saints? I think I didn't have the Saints this high, did I? There's no way.
I had them at 19. You had them at 20.
I was at wow. All right. Well, I'm an idiot. I don't think the Saints are that good. I thought they were a lot better. I was all in on the Jameis Winston train. I don't know if it's because he has no
Hill. He literally went beast mode on 7-yard run against the Giants.
Stop it. Mistake.
Like 7 people taken out.
This team is not good. I thought they were going to be a lot better. I was all in on Jameis Winston. I don't know if it's because he's got no receivers or what. I've barely watched the Saints. Yeah, I'm not interested in what's going on in New Orleans. Good luck with the division. Seriously, good luck. Good luck.
Let's see. Let's get back on here. Number 19, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, this
2-2.
Blows.
I mean,
blows. This
Derrick Henry has 500 yards rushing already on the year, and we're only 4 games in.
Are you surprised though, Will?
And I think he's like, if you include what he has yards after contact, I think he's like the 3rd best rusher, even with those yards.
He's a scary man. Like, look how big he is. Like, who wants to tackle him? I don't. Like, you got to pay me a lot of money to try to step in front of that freight train once he gets going. So, yeah, they're a bad football team. Tannehill's been really disappointing for a guy that was one of the sleeper quarterbacks for fantasy last season. He gets another weapon, and he's not good. Like, they're not good. I don't know if they're missing Jaylon Smith this bad. Like, their defense is horrendous. This is a bad football team, and it's shocker in a bad division. I can see the Colts winning this division at the end of the day. The Colts are going to get healthy at the right time. They're going to, oh, crap, we have 9 wins. Oh, we're in. We won the division. Awesome. Like, this is how bad, this division is. The Titans aren't good. I told Bud Dupree it was a mistake going to Tennessee because they're not good. And ironically, Bud Dupree's been kind of quiet. And the Titans aren't good. On to the next one. They're not good. Seriously. Oh, this team is
why do I have Chicago so high? We both have met at 18. Okay, next question. Oh, Justin Fields is now the starter going forward. Okay, good thing. Next question. J.D. McKissick's Washington football team at 17. Houdini Heineke.
You were so quick to jump from what's it called. That is hilarious.
I'm not giving them the light of day. Okay.
Nah, that's all right. That's
Listen,
okay.
When
I
Matt Nagy
wouldn't
gets
give them the light of
fired, I will
day.
give him the light of day, but I ain't giving him anything. I should have put him at 30 like the NFL had there. They're a 2-2 team, and the NFL put him at number 30 on power rankings. Funny. But a great game last week. I mean, their defense is just abysmal. I don't know what happened to it, but here they are, number 17, your Washington football team. Number 16, the Seattle Seahawks. Very good win against the 49ers, getting right back on track, and they're right up there with the Rams right now. And Thursday Night Football, Rams Seahawks. This is really going to have a lot of stuff for the division moving forward.
Yeah, Seattle's interesting. They get Pittsburgh in a few weeks. We'll see what we'll see how good Seattle is Thursday. Seriously, we'll see what's going on with them.
Number 15, the San Francisco 49ers. Where did I have them? I had them at 14. You had them 16. Okay. We got pretty fair there. Pretty fair rankings.
Yeah, once it gets to the top, it gets,
This is where it's just like haywire. But Trey Lance could be the starting quarterback for this coming week. I forgot who they end up playing, but we'll figure that out in 10 minutes time when we get to our prediction part of the episode. Number 14, the Denver Broncos. Between Fangio and Harbaugh, I don't know who's going to be shitting each other's Cheerios much harder, because calling 3 timeouts to conclude a drive, and Harbaugh decides to run a 5-yard play to keep the streak alive of 47 straight games of 100-plus rushing yards on a team average. Here they are. Teddy B gets hurt, and the whole team implodes. Drew Lock is really not the answer here, and I think Fangio is probably going to get hot in the seat if Bridgewater's not playing.
Yeah, hopefully they lose this weekend. So I'd like to see them slide down the charts a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see. They're Teddy B, man. The dude's always hurt. I feel bad for him, man, sometimes. My goodness, concussion protocol. He's probably out this week. I mean, you never see a guy get a concussion unless it's Devontae Adams, and jumps right back into the game. Seriously, they're always out a week at least. So get better, Teddy B. We'll see you the following week. Not this week, my friend. Not this week. Probably for your benefit, by the way, Teddy B.
Number 13, the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like I should have put them higher because they're the surprise of me for this year. I don't know about you, Colton, but they're a very big surprise team. Joe Burrow's playing some of his best football, and Jamar Chase has silenced the haters as he now has discovered how an NFL football is passed and can catch it, and he can now locate a football.
Yeah, I think just like Kim Jong-un over here in the comments.
I saw that. I didn't want to say anything, but
no, I clicked over. I'm like, are we getting any comments or anything? And yeah, no, Kim Jong-un speaking his mind over here. But no, these have been probably the surprise darling of the season. They're a lot better. They're a lot better. They're not the pushover they used to be for the past few seasons. Once Andy Dalton and that whole Marvin Lewis train finally hit the town. It's a good football team. We'll see what happens. They almost lost at home to Jacksonville, who's not a good football team. So we'll see what happens when they start playing some better teams. They got Pittsburgh with some injuries. And again, not to use injuries as an excuse, they took care of business clearly. So we'll see what happens once they start playing some better teams, see how legit they are, because they have been surprising. They're a field goal kick away from freaking losing to Minnesota. Here we are. So we'll see what happens with the Bengals going forward. But they keep it up. I mean, they're clearly going to rise up this chart a little bit.
I'm going to apologize because I know the top 12 is all over the place. And I already know where it's going to go. So number 12, Baltimore Ravens. Hollywood Brown.
It's okay.
Hollywood Brown discovered how to catch a football this week, even though he was wide open and he wasn't in double coverage. All it took was some altitude.
Down the field. He's had a really good season. It's kind of what he's been expected to do here in Baltimore since he drafted him out of Oklahoma. He's finally starting to put some good games together. So hats off for him. But a lot of people are really high on Baltimore. They're really good. If Teddy B doesn't get hurt, they might lose this game. I know that kind of went south for them really quick. Yeah, they're a doink away from losing to the Lions. If Mahomes doesn't have a crap bed there and late in that game, they probably lose to the Chiefs. They're good. Again, I'm not going to be assaulted. They're good. They're a very good team. We'll see what happens. Latavius Murray finally starting to take over that number 1 back there. Lamar Jackson's been really good throwing the ball this season. We'll see. Let's see what they continue to do. Because we have a tough schedule, the AFC North. So we'll see what happens. They knock out the big fish. They beat out KC. Good for that. It's a big win. We'll see what happens as the season goes along for the Ravens. Let's see.
Number 11, the Kansas City Chiefs. At 2-2, I mean, listen, they're going to be outside the top 10, but they're kind of rediscovering finding their footing, and they're just going to, honestly, this is probably an appropriate spot right now because in 4 weeks' time when we do this again, they're probably going to be a lot better than what we've seen them at to start the season.
We'll see. I can't say that I can guarantee that, to be honest with you, because they don't have any balance. I know they're adding Josh Gordon. Wonderful. The offense isn't the problem here.
It's just a big defensive question mark.
It's the defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. And it's awesome. We could put up 50 points. Not if you're on the sideline. Seriously. If your offense is on the sideline and you're just chewing up the clock on you, what everyone said to do against Brady. Don't let Brady get on the field. Don't let Mahomes get on the field. And, you'll win. Seriously. I get it's you heard the numbers. Oh, they don't punt very often. I think they have 3 punts on the season or something. This, that, and the other. Awesome. I don't care. They can't stop a nosebleed. Their defense when they won that, they were a competent defense. Problem is now, everyone has a really good offense, except for the Steelers. But to be fair, everyone can move the football. So you can't stop a nosebleed. Wonderful. You can put up points. Justin Herbert went in your town and took care of you. I mean, I got to wait and see what Kansas City. You thought they were getting Gilmore. I know it was kind of look, they're going to get Stephon Gilmore. No, not what they couldn't afford him. There was no way with the money he wants. They couldn't afford him because guess what? Money bags Mahomes is starting to kick in. Good luck. Seriously, this team is screwed. This is why
Absolutely.
It's so hard to win in the NFL. And I hated the GOAT conversation with Mahomes because he may not get back. He may not get back there anytime soon. I know he's wonderful to watch, just like Aaron Rodgers was more into his prime. How terrifying Aaron Rodgers was. This is how Kansas City is. This is why it's so stupid. Stop calling him the GOAT. He shouldn't be on the cover with freaking Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in his own category. Seriously. This kid may not get back to another Super Bowl. That division's loaded. Dude, what's his name is legit. Herbert is legit. Wait till we get up to the Chargers. I've talked enough about KC. My goodness gracious. Seriously. I don't know if we'll see them in the top 10. If they don't figure out this defense at all, they're in big trouble. They cannot stop a nosebleed right now.
Number 10, the Carolina Panthers. I feel like this is very fitting. The defense is really good. Darnold's playing some of his best football in his career. CJ McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey, CMC. He's honestly a big piece of this offense. And you could kind of tell last week that they kind of needed him, but with Darnold, it could be a running back by committee. Who knows? This is where the list gets completely janked. This is where it gets really screwy.
It gets interesting. I think this team rises up the list here in a few weeks, to be fair. With this defense, if they get healthy, I think it's going to be interesting.
Number 9, the Las Vegas Raiders. Lightning delay in SoFi Stadium. $5 billion stadium for a lightning delay. And we all figured out it's a canopy. It's not a dome. It's a canopy on top of the stadium. But they didn't play the worst football we've seen, but they didn't play the best. At 3-1, this team could still be a playoff team. The Chargers are really, really loaded on offense, and especially how healthy their defense is with Derwin James. The Chargers took care of the Raiders, so they kind of fell a little bit.
Yeah, I'm so weird with the Raiders. I really am. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as time tells. Arizona. We're not there yet. I'll get a little more into detail. Arizona's legit, man. They really are. When we get there in a few bit, because we're getting towards the top of this list finally.
Yeah.
Where all the good teams lie. We'll see it's early. Clearly, we're early power rankings here. We'll see what happens once we get a little bit farther. So let's see what the Raiders are. The division's really good. It's they've beaten some teams they probably shouldn't have beaten, and Derek Carr's played really good football. So he finally came down to earth a little bit this past weekend. But he's also been playing without Josh Jacobs, who finally came back. So we'll see as he gets healthier what happens with that offense again. So we'll see with the Raiders.
I think this is where I completely messed up the list. Yep, number 8, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think I meant to put them higher, but I accidentally set it all up. And, well, I'll give them this appropriate one because I could surely think they can go up the list actually a lot more. But at number 8, that's where I had put them before Monday Night Football. I didn't feel like changing my list, and then Colton sent me his, and I kind of accidentally messed up and didn't fix it before the show.
That's all right.
So here we are.
I kind of forget where I had them. I think I had them in the top 5. I feel like
number 3, and I accidentally messed it up because you had the Raiders and the Chargers. If they lose, they were at number 8.
Yeah, my list was very confusing. I kind of set up where, like, if a team lost, this is where we were going to have it because we wanted the list Monday. So, yeah, the Chargers are really good. Again, Will just said I had them at 3. I think 3, 4 is kind of like a good area for them. Again, I still think they have a lot to prove. We'll see what the Chargers can do, but man, woo, Herbert, wow.
Number 7, the Green Bay Packers. I mean, Mr. Aaron avoiding Mr. TJ there.
Stop it.
Packers are.
Was that just like old jab, dude? Like the Steelers are back with the Jets? Is that what that was, dude? All
whoa! Listen here, okay. Look at Aaron right there. He's avoiding the pressure. I think he's gonna score there.
Yeah, he walked in the end zone there.
Yeah, so they walked in here at number 7, and I don't have much to say about them, but the Packers, they're finding their footing. I mean, they're gonna be a big problem moving forward, especially in the North. I mean, the North's a disaster right now, so
it's a cakewalk for them. The division again, per usual. This is why this is why Rodgers wants to leave, and you're seeing all the rumblings of Pittsburgh. You heard it early on in this show that I said Rodgers is going to be a Steeler. I just have that weird feeling. Man, all the media outlets are running with it. It's like, oh dang, Colton Gesser says that all the way before the season starts, and oh god, Rodgers says.
Oh, Ian Rappaport tweets that Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler.
Yeah, here we go. But no, I just have a weird feeling, man. He's a smart guy. He's not stupid. He's kind of planting the seeds. Like, hey, man, Pittsburgh, I'm interested if you have the same likewise feeling here, and I think the Steelers do.
Number 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's all-time passing yards leader, who didn't get an index card like Drew Brees did, and a firm handshake from the officiating crew, is now 32 of 32, beat all the teams, and now we are here sitting at number 6. I feel like this is. I think they could be ranked a little bit higher, but they've been in a lot of close games, especially with Dallas and now New England, and they got kind of the doors blown off against the Rams last week. Well, 2 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot for them. Defense is really, really hurting. This is kind of what we expected. I mean, we said it last year. The Bucs got lucky; they had no injuries at all. So I'm not really surprised here with the Bucs here at 6.
Okay, top 5. Here we go. Dallas Cowboys, number 5. I had
them
at 5, and you had them at 4.
They're legit, man. They're legit.
Would you believe that Zeke had his longest run since his rookie year this past Sunday?
Dude, they have been good. Someone does not like Green Bay at 7 in our comments. They're not happy with Green Bay there.
Number 7.
I mean, there's a lot of teams I like above Green Bay, and it's not a personal jab. They just, took care of my team, but they're beatable. Steelers easily could have beat them. Seriously, and the Steelers are really a confusing team, and I don't love Green. I Green Bay is going to be there at the end of the day. If you're going to ask for
be a
now,
top 5 team by the end of the year.
Yeah, if you have a gun to my head, who's your NFC title game? I would not be surprised if the Packers are there. It's just how they are. Rodgers, it's what he does. But I do think there's teams right now that are ahead of them. Dallas being one of them. Dallas is legit. I didn't think I'd be saying this. If you've listened to our past shows,
we gave Dallas no time of day, and now they're getting all the day now.
Don't go back to the NFC East episode.
I'm just gonna delete that episode, and we're just gonna.
Yeah, you might have to because this has been really, really different. Just like the AFC North, to be honest. That episode can kind of delete also because, I mean you can't get them all right, but my goodness, man, Dallas is legit. Diggs is oh my god.
Diggs is the best corner right now.
He is
5 interceptions.
He's been really good. I don't really have much more to say. They're really good. Like Dallas is legit.
Oh, here we go.
Yo, by the way, Josh, I know you picked up Cordero Patterson. I think I know what I'm talking about. Cordero Patterson probably saved your rear end in fantasy this
He
weekend.
didn't start him.
You didn't? Surprise.
No. And he only won. He won by like 11. He won by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, shocker. That's what you get, you loser. But no, Dallas, legit, man. Dallas is a scary team, and I can see them literally getting back up on this list here. To be honest with you,
I'm not giving Josh the light of day.
No,
when he gives me a good comment, I'll feature it. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns at 3-1. They could easily be a 4-0 team if Baker didn't throw a stupid interception late against the Kansas City Chiefs. But
see, now this is where I understand. I think that's Marianne. I understand where Marianne is pissed now. Like now that I think about it, where did I have Green Bay in Cleveland?
You had Cleveland. Let's see. This is where I kind of jacked up the list a lot because I kind of like moved teams around and stuff like that. Breaking news right now. Jaylon Smith might be landing in Green Bay as we're talking about Green Bay at this very moment.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. That's a good move. They kind of been looking for that Blake Martinez guy since he's departed for the G-Men. Seriously, where do I have the Browns and Packers? Like, if you're, I would like to flip-flop these, like 7 and 4. I think would
Packers
be really...
you had at 5. I had them at 8, and it became a coin flip for where they ended up landing.
Yeah, see, now
I
did have them as a top 5.
This is where I accidentally messed up because you had Cleveland at 10, and then I had them at 4 because I put them up pretty high.
Why did you have them? Like, they're like...
and then I accidentally
Baker's better.
This list
They'd be really good. Baker's the restrictions here. So, Marianne, don't shoot the messenger. It wasn't me.
Don't worry. I'll get all that slack later on. Don't worry.
It wasn't me. I see. I had Green Bay in the top 5, and they sure as heck would be above the Browns. Like the Browns are like, if they had a quarterback, they would probably be the best team in football. The problem is it's Baker Mayfield, and like he still hasn't proven me anything. Like Baker Mayfield, like I
when he has to play good football, he could play good football. But listen, Chubb and Hunt are the best like running back tandem. I don't think you can beat it. I don't think you could beat that backfield right now.
No, they're really good, and this is what happens. You got 2 fresh running backs. Yeah, they're not 4. They're not a top 5 team until they like prove otherwise. I know they almost won Kansas City like twice now, but I can't have them here. I can't. That's why I had them where I had them. I don't love the Browns yet. This is like
number 3, the LA Rams.
Yeah, they're still a good football team.
They're still a good football team, even though they lost to the Cardinals. They're still a top 3 team.
They had their
number 1 receiver.
They had their Super Bowl. That's kind of what it was. They had their big Super Bowl win over the Bucs, and it was probably like, yes. And they came out flat. And you can't come out flat to a legit offense like Arizona, and they took it to them. And I think this team is going to be there at the end of the day. NFC is kind of terrifying. There's a lot of really good teams, but we'll see. I think this team is there, and not taking away anything from Arizona, I think the Rams are still clearly the best team in that division. We'll see, though. I mean, geez, Arizona's kind of proven me wrong. Kyle Murray's been legit. So we'll see. I think this was kind of like one of those come off a ginormous win and, like, come out flat, and they did. We'll see what happens. I mean, I cannot take anything away from Arizona, which it surely sounds like I am doing. But, I mean, they're on our list high for a reason, both these teams.
Number 2, let me cover up this finger here because he's pointing up their number 2 because I feel like this is a very appropriate spot for them. Josh Allen, besides week 1, they're playing really good football. Although they're playing just very bad teams, putting up 40-plus points in back-to-back weeks, they're a good football team. Very good football team.
Yeah, we'll see Sunday night. This is where you can see that big flip.
This is the Super Bowl. The big Super Bowl for the AFC.
This is where you can see the big flip in our power rankings here as Buffalo in an interesting game here. They played nobody, and they lose to the Steelers, who've been really bad. So we'll see. We'll see when they play someone good. They're playing a legit offense this weekend, so let's see how good Buffalo's defense is. They played really well. We'll see how good they are.
And number 1, obviously, Celebrate you must. It's Kyler Murray and company, the Arizona Cardinals. Baby Yoda. I found this one. I saved 3 photos and I found this. I'm like, this is the photo. I had to include this one.
So yeah, we had a question earlier.
Yeah, I'll pull up that question
Yeah,
again.
do you
Hopefully I
think
don't pull up the
Arizona?
other questions of the spam that we have.
Oh gosh, you think there's? Oh yeah, see, you can't make that mistake. Is Arizona the team to beat? I mean, they're number 1 on our list for a reason. They are the only undefeated left. Kyler's been great. He's clearly been the MVP favorite so far this season. He's played terrific football. There's really nothing more to say. Kyler's been great. Arizona's defense has been really good. Chandler Jones has been great. Isaiah Simmons clearly is being used correctly because he's leading the team in tackles. So finally, there's that. Got to watch a little bit more football of Arizona because the offense is special. It really is. Well, what are your thoughts? Are they the team to beat? Clear the number 1 on both of our lists here. What are your thoughts?
Do you know what happened the last time the Cardinals went 4-0?
No.
They finished 5-11.
Nah, that's not happening with this team now.
I know it's not happening with this team. Kyler Murray, he's in the MVP conversation. He's really like bringing this offense alive. And James Conner had like a renaissance, like a resurrection of his career. Essentially, he played some of his best game against the Rams, and the Rams are a smash mouth. Like, we're gonna stop your run game immediately. So having them at number 1, I feel like it's appropriate to have. Say the least.
It's a really good football team. Really good football team, man. Little John Gruden there for you. It's a good football team. There really is no other way around it. We'll see how they bounce back this weekend. Again, they had a ginormous win just like the Rams did. See how they go into their next week. Seriously, let's see how they come out. Kyler's been great. He's improved every single season. They have legit weapons. Rondale Moore out of where is he? Purdue, I believe. He's been really good for them. AJ Green has finally showed what AJ Green could do when he's healthy, and clearly you know what D-Hop can do. So, and James Conner and what is his name? I'm forgetting
Edmonds.
it. Chase Edmonds. Yeah, Chase Edmonds. He's also been really good. James Conner's been really good for them. So hats off to him. He's a good football. He's a really good running back when he's healthy. Problem is he hasn't been healthy in his career, and I hope for his sake, I don't want to wish anything bad across the man from Erie, Pennsylvania. I hope he does well. It sucks seeing him go. Just wasn't healthy. But he's been great there for Arizona, so good for him.
Well, we already went through like our overreacting part, but let's go into the predictions portion. Let's not have it run too long here.
No,
let me reshare my screen here as we got the schedule going up here. So last time, what was it? Last week, Colton had 10, I had 9 right. So Colton now takes a 3-person lead as I need to open up my notepad here so I can write down what we're thinking of for the games here. So let's see, Thursday Night Football, Rams, Seattle. This is the best Thursday Night Football game already.
Yeah, this is the best Thursday night game in a really long time. It's got to be the Rams. Rams need to bounce back here. I know Seattle, if they lose, this is a really big hole for Pete Carroll and company in a division that looks to be one of the best in football, if not the best. I got to think the Rams, dude. There's like really no way around it. I think the Rams bounce back, and Seattle kind of comes down to earth like we kind of expected them to be honest with you.
Let's see. And well, the game I get to do Sunday morning here.
Who are you picking? See, you do this quite often.
I know I do it. I'm picking the Rams as well because, like, listen, the Rams offense will not be stopped by the Seattle defense, and the Seattle defense is way worse than what we have from the other one there.
I'm sorry, Uncle Alan. I know you're Seattle. It's just, Uncle, I can't buy into. I think the Rams are like the best team in football. I know Arizona's there right now. I love what the Rams are doing, and if the Rams won, Uncle Alan, against the Cardinals, I would say Seattle is probably going to win this because big game. It's not like they're going to have their foot down. I feel like that's not a Sean McVay team, but Uncle Alan, I cannot buy Seattle. I cannot. I hope I'm wrong for you. I just cannot buy the Seahawks. I just cannot do it.
Early morning football, 9:30 in the morning. Jets, Falcons. In London, what are you thinking for here?
Oh God, it's the battle of the dumpster fires. No offense, Will, and my team sucks just like yours right now. I got to take Atlanta. I feel like they had like an Atlanta meltdown against Washington, like per usual. if the Jets win this, I'm going to be all in on the Jets wagon, though, to be honest. I'm going to start doing my due diligence on the Jets if they can win this. We'll see.
So which team are you picking now?
I'm taking the ATL, sir.
Oh, you're picking the Dirty Birds. I'm gonna take my team. I said this for the last couple of weeks. I am picking the Falcons. I'm picking the Falcons when this game comes. And of course, the Jets will win. They suck me back in because this is what this organization does to me. They really just let my hopes up so much. So I have to pick the Jets here. There's no way I can go against my team here. And Atlanta's just Atlanta. Let's see. Should I kind of fill you in here for Vikings?
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I fell into the Lions trap. I'm not doing it again. Like I'm over it. Just like Seattle does to me in my my degenerate gambling. I cannot bet Seattle. I'm done with the Lions. I bet on them. Nice. Thanks, Detroit. Justin Fields looks like he's having a freaking meltdown the week before, and you let him look competent. So good job. I'm not touching Detroit with a 20-foot pole.
I mean, I'm going to match you with Minnesota there. New Orleans at Washington.
I'm going the football team. I'm all in on Taylor Heineke. I just don't know what the Saints are. I really don't. I don't know if it's that Jameis doesn't have enough weapons or if they don't know who their quarterback is. I'm just not falling into the Saints trap. I'm over it.
I'll match you with the football team as well. I'm going to fill you in here for New England over Houston because that's
the next one also. It's another
right
dumpster
there, and another dumpster fire one. Let's skip over the ads so they don't get the time of day here. Should I fill you in again?
Yeah, you can fill me in. This is one of those tests where I think Cincinnati can start sliding back here. I got to take Green Bay. They just look good, and it looks like they're adding Jaylon Smith to that defense, so that's interesting. So that's another interesting piece there.
Now, here we go. Broncos at Steelers.
I'm going to take the Steelers, man. I think the injuries for Denver is interesting. Steelers are getting a little bit healthier, and they're in desperate times. This organization doesn't bail on seasons. They just don't do it. And this is one of those games that kind of sucks you back in again and makes it interesting, especially if the Bengals lose and the Browns have a tough game. So we'll see what happens. Steelers win here and a must-win for the Steelers. They don't give seasons in. You lose Ben for the season week freaking 2. You trade for Minka, and they just don't bail. I mean, figure how many times people said that season was a wash. What are you doing trading for Fitzpatrick? That's a top 5 pick. And if it was today's playoff setting, the Steelers are a 7th seed. So I got to ride with the Steelers here. They lose, I'm forever like I'm over on the season.
I'm going to go opposite you. I'm going to pick Denver. I have to. I'm sorry.
You're all right, pal. It's all right, dude. It's all right. I'm sucked.
Can I fill you in? Can I fill you in for the sweep here for Philly at Carolina?
Yeah. I think this game is closer than we think, but I do think Carolina edges it out.
I'm going to fill you in for another sweep again because
you can fill me in for a sweep, but I don't know. I don't know if Urban has them out here punching and swinging, trying to shut up the narrative of them and his little fiasco.
I think it's all done there. I think the book is sealed right now. So.
You know what? I might give you a game because I'm an idiot. I'm gonna take the Jags, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Jags. I'm gonna. Urban's praying and hoping the players show up for him this week. I'm gonna take them. I got a 3-game lead on you. I can give one if I have to. I'll give you a charity one just to suck you back and get you a little closer.
Well, I'll pick the Titans in that one. This is a very good 4:00 hour. We have the Chargers at Cleveland at LAC.
It's gonna be an away game for the Chargers. Cleveland fans are gonna probably show up here, I believe. God, I really don't want to take the Chargers. That's a big win for them. I gotta take them though. I'm taking Chargers. I'm really all in on Herbert, Eckler, and company. I just don't want Baker. It's just what it comes down to. I'm taking the Chargers, man. Should be one for you to jump all over here. This could be.
I'm jumping on the Chargers. Listen, I've
really?
I've Herbert in fantasy. Herbert's honestly keeping me alive in a lot of fantasy matchups. So I hope he keeps me alive in the fantasy predictions. Let's see. Even though it's not really going to be too much to boast about, but there we are. The Bears at Vegas. I don't know if I should fill you in here.
Yeah, you should fill me in.
Be filled in.
You can give me the Raiders.
San Fran at Arizona.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna go what I said before. Big win for the Rams the week before. Big win for the Cardinals. I'm going San Fran. I think Trey Lance proves why he was taken so high, and I think Shanahan throws some nice wrinkles in here for this Cardinals defense. But it also could go bad because he's playing a really good front, and they could like terrify Trey Lance, and he like shows his like little rookie side. So I'm gonna stick with my guns here. I might be giving games away this week. We might have an interesting week next week, or I'm just gonna run away with it. So this could happen really early, Will. So I'm gonna take Trey Lance and the Niners.
Well, I'll take Arizona on this one. NFC East matchup: the Giants at Dallas.
Big game for the G-men. I got to take the Cowboys, though. Like, I mean, they're a top 5 team. I've gloated about them the past 2 weeks. They're legit, man. Dallas is legit. I got to ride Dallas. Giants have looked better. I got to take Dallas, though, man. This is a big game for Dallas. They can literally run away with this division right here because I think the Giants are the most like put together team that could possibly give them a fight. So this is big for the Giants, and this is really good. Like, this is a really interesting game. It sucks that Chargers are at what's it called? Chargers and Browns. I kind of wish I could watch both of these games. To be honestly, there's a bunch of games like Cardinals, Niners is also really good. But yeah, I got to take Dallas, man. Until otherwise proven.
I'm gonna take Dallas as well because I have Zeke in fantasy, so I'm just trying to keep my hopes alive in the fantasy aspect.
I hate you.
Sunday Night Football, Buffalo at Kansas City. I already know where you want to go with this one.
I'm going Kansas City. I really want to go Buffalo. Their defense hasn't been like they played dumpster fire teams the whole season. To be honest with you, Steelers haven't proven anything. It looked like a fluke game, but that proves something though. The Steelers put up enough points. I get what's called defense is not good. Josh Allen's played nobodies, to be honest with you. So like until he proves he can beat like a really good team on the road, tough environment, I gotta take KC, dude. Mahomes has been there already. Josh Allen has not.
I was going Buffalo here, and you twisted it and turned me back into
it's one of those things, dude.
It makes sense.
It really does. I want to take the Bills. Like this is where I think the Bills could all right, let's go. We're for real. But like he hasn't been in a tough environment like this, man. He hasn't. I know he played there last year, all that, but man, this is just different. KC's desperate. I think they get it here. I think they get one.
And Monday Night Football, the Colts at Baltimore.
I hope for a Christmas miracle here with Indy, but yeah, absolutely not. You know where I'm going here.
And I will match you with Baltimore as well. And that let's get back onto here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our show. Thank you guys for tuning in. And Josh tells me stop switching my picks. Josh, no. I hate you. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I mean, we got some big news coming up. I don't think we should spoil anything yet, but
that's all right.
But we got some news coming up, so it's podcasting news. So it's gonna be fun to say the least. So thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Check back in Sunday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central for NFL Sunday pregame. Thank you very much, and also tune in to us every Wednesday for the Play Action Podcast.